After thousands of miles driving, we've made it to Alaska and it's officially been 6 months of van life.
In this video, we want to share with you our van life experience, the highs, the lows, the pros, the cons that we've experienced over the past 6 months, as well as how much van life has costed us exactly, like the detailed numbers.
But we are not going to move today. We are going to enjoy a nice, slow evening boondocking and make some delicious dinner with a campfire.
So first up, let's get the mocktails. One of our favorite go-to drinks has been this like cherry, almost like limeade mocktail. I'm sure you could make it alcoholic, but it is a work night for us. And all it is like 4 ingredients, I guess 5 if you wanted to add a little sweetener. But it's apple cider vinegar, some lime juice, cherry juice, and bubbly water.
Thank you.
Welcome. Cheers to 6 months of van life.
Now, before we go over the 5 biggest things that we've learned in van life, let's catch you up on the journey so far, because that gives context to all of our 5 points.
To begin our journey, we started in South Florida at Everglades National Park. We made our way up to Congaree National Park, and then we almost basically went due west through Texas, visited the national parks there, and then into New Mexico, visited the national parks there as well, and into Utah, where we spent a month exploring southern Utah and absolutely had a blast. To give you a little context, southern Utah was the holy grail place that I was most looking forward to, whereas Alaska has been the holy grail place Elliot has been most looking forward to.
So we are not waiting, folks. We're kind of just diving right into what we're most interested to see.
Right. After the 1 month in southern Utah, we made our way up to the Canadian Rockies and had a beautiful time, only to come and realize that we needed to spend a lot more time there. After that, we made our way up to start what we thought would be the Alaskan Highway, only to have to pivot and turn around and do the Stewart Cassier Highway, which ended up being a beautiful pivot and a beautiful journey up to Alaska. Now that we're in Alaska, we've got 2.5 months worth of fun activities that we cannot wait to get into and share with you.
The first thing that I've learned about van life so far is that there are plenty of boondocking spots available. The only places that we've had to pay for in our first 6 months are inside national parks where there's no free camping available. Sometimes we'll stay outside of a national park and just drive in for the day, but sometimes the experience is to be in the national park. And so to only pay for a few nights in 6 months has like really exceeded my expectations. Of course, we're traveling mainly in the West and there is a lot more public lands in the West, so it kind of makes sense. But that's the way that we love to travel. When we were on a boat, we love to stay on the hook, stay on anchor, and just be in nature and not be in a marina or a campground. And I'm glad that that's carried through to van life. So that's been a huge win. In places like where we are right now, up in Alaska, it's just beautiful and gorgeous, and we can stay here for pretty much as long as we want.
Until we freeze.
Yeah.
The second thing is that van life chores take an entire day. As much as we may try to cram them in just the morning or just an afternoon, they will always trickle over into the entire day. And I have no idea how that happens, but it always is so. Between getting laundry done, going and filling up tanks, emptying our gray water tank, going to Costco, going to the regular grocery store, all of these things just take a really long time. It doesn't seem to matter how efficient we try to be, they always take the entire day.
Now for our third learning experience moving into the van and over the last 6 months is that the variety has been exceptional. So we are used to either flying somewhere or boating somewhere, which can go long distances and to different areas, but the van has just taken that to the next level, especially van life here in North America, because we started off in the slough and the wetlands of Florida. Then we spent months in the red rocks and the deserts of southern Utah with these crazy rock formations. And then we drove through the Canadian Rockies, and now we're up in Alaska where we have massive mountains, the tallest mountain in North America, snow-capped peaks all around. We have fjords, tons of wildlife, and that's just in 6 months. And there's so much more to see. So that variety in what we get to see, where we get to travel through, the cultures we get to experience has been really exceptional, and definitely it's been better than what we imagined traveling could be. It's been really fun.
Our fourth point is that weather does not dictate our travel days nearly as much as what it did on the boat. And we're really happy for that. It has reduced a lot of our stress. I feel like we have a lot less gray hairs this year than we have in previous years. The flexibility that we have when it comes to the weather, there haven't been too many weather considerations that we've had to make that would alter our plans. The only time that I can think of is when we were in a dust storm in New Mexico.
Yeah, or forest fires.
Oh yeah, or forest fires. But to be honest though, we've only been 6 months in, so that could easily change. That's, you know, TBD.
Now, finally, for the last point, this is something that we've kind of talked to quite a few other people that used to live on a boat and now live the land life or the life on the road. And that's that the lows are less low and the highs are less high, but there's a lot more frequent highs in van life. So it has this weird effect where we're not as stressed, which is a positive, and we have a lot more frequent, just very enjoyable moments, whether it's hiking this peak or driving to this cute little farmer's market. And so it's been an enjoyable pivot. Just very different than boat life, but enjoyable.
Before we get into the cost, let's cook up some dinner. Tonight we're having salmon.
When in Alaska.
When in Alaska.
Real quick, before we start cooking dinner, I wanted to share with you the sponsor of this video and sponsor of a lot of our van life videos so far, and that's All Roads Taken. That's where we find all of our adventure badges dated for the year that we visited the national park, and of course the majority of them are 2025 so far. Every time that we put a new badge on our wall, we're reminded that it's worth the drive. And if you're interested in starting your collection, make sure to use our discount code for your first badge free. Now let's get back to dinner.
Tonight for dinner, the side that we're having is cucumber salad, like an Asian twist. So we have lots of mini cucumbers, and in this bowl already is some grated ginger, grated garlic, some scallions, sesame oil, soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, sriracha, a little bit of maple syrup, and yeah. I was gonna marinate while I make the salmon, and then we have some rice going on too. So I just made up a miso kind of marinade or sauce. And in this marinade, it has miso paste, some sesame oil, grated ginger, grated garlic, and a little bit of honey. It's kind of thick, how I like it. It's just gonna top the salmon. We'll put it in the oven, and we'll have the salmon on top of some rice, some cucumber salad, and some seaweed salad. And it'll be a great dinner.
One of my favorite things about living in a van is that you just have your home wherever you go. And so you can have delicious meals like this, no matter that we're in remote Alaska.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let me know how it is.
Yes, I'm gonna take a first bite. Salmon and rice. That salmon is cooked perfectly. And the miso just gives it this creamy, buttery smooth sauce on the top. A little bit sweet, a little bit savory. Delicious.
We break down our monthly expenses on our website, and in our most recent blog post, we shared 6 months of van life expenses. And in that post, I broke it down by month with all of our individual expenses, and we have a monthly average, and that monthly average is $3,651. based off the previous 6 months. So that is January through June. We would like to take that monthly average though and break it down a bit further. So I've created categories, and we'll do that while we enjoy a fire.
All right, one match.
Is it possible?
No, looking good. I didn't plan my approach very well. Got this more stuff. One match wonder.
Good job.
We did it, Joe.
I was actually contemplating. I was like, I don't think you're gonna be able to get it.
So I guess to start off, before Jen deep dives each category, van life and boat life actually are not that different for us in reference to our monthly expenses. They're both very similar. What we were spending in diesel for the boat is kind of similar to what we're spending in diesel for the van, and so on.
Yeah, which has really surprised us. First, let's go over what van life expenses there are. 1, fuel. 2, paid campgrounds. 3, groceries. 4, restaurants. And I think that's really important to have both groceries and restaurants because one correlates to the other, and so there's a counterbalance there. 5, housekeeping. So this includes going to the laundromat or anything else that's just kind of like general housekeeping stuff. Van projects, maintenance, RV insurance, attractions or tours. So like any of the tours that we go on or equipment that's needed for a tour. So like going through the Narrows at Zion, I put our equipment rental in that category. Then we have souvenirs, healthcare, which this is something I actually did not include while we were on the boat, but I decided that I think it's relevant for this, so I included it. Our gym membership, phone or internet, personal and other. So there's 14 total categories. April on the road was our cheapest month, while May was our most expensive month because it required a few bookings and for us to purchase some gear to prepare for our time here in Alaska. Similar to what I did with our Great Loop expenses, I also categorized where we spent the night because that greatly affects our budget. For example, if we were to go to RV parks or campgrounds all the time and not rely on free camping, our expenses would look significantly different. So just to give you an idea, for the 6-month total, we spent 16 nights at a paid campground. We spent 0 nights at Harvest Host. We spent 85 nights on BLM, National Forest, or free camping land, public land. We spent 27 nights stealth camping for free, so that could be in a city or it could be somewhere else. We spent 13 nights at a Walmart, Cracker Barrel, or truck stop. 33 nights with friends or family. Makes sense because at the very initial month or two, we were staying with a lot of friends and family back east. And we had 7 kind of like miscellaneous nights. The majority of those nights were free.
Yeah.
Next, I'm gonna break down the grand total, that monthly average, by the monthly average that we spent per category. So, for example, category number 1, campgrounds. Our monthly average was $57.23 a month. Fuel was $501. Groceries was $903.77. Housekeeping is $44.31. Restaurants is $176.03. Attractions or tours was $290.21. Insurance was $0, and that's only because we paid for our insurance in December. So it will reflect in our next 6 months of expenses. Our van projects or maintenance was $353.75. And that's because, well, you'll have to read the report. But basically, we went to the Mercedes dealer a lot more than we expected. Transportation, which includes paid parking, any fees or tolls or anything like that, was on average $59.69. Our healthcare was about $608. Average phone and internet cost is $256. Souvenirs was $46. Our personal expenses were $254. And our other expenses, kind of like our miscellaneous, is $262.
Definitely let us know in the comments below which of these expenses you're the most shocked by, or if they're all kind of within your expectations. I think a couple of them deserve a little bit further diving in. For example, phone and internet, $257 pretty much for phone and internet per month. And that's because we have phones and Starlink. And so both of those together adds up quite significantly.
Yeah, Starlink is $165 a month. But if you are working from a boat or a van or anywhere on the road and you want generally reliable, I will say not always reliable, but generally, it's kind of a must in a way.
Yeah, then fuel, $500 a month for fuel. I think when we average out van life over the next longer term than 6 months, that'll probably come down a bit because we did the Alaska Highway, or at least the Stuart Cassier Highway, driving up here. So that was a lot of driving this summer. We're gonna be coming down, so it's gonna be just as high for the next few months, but that seems a bit high, but we'll have to track that over the next couple of years to see how that holds up.
Yeah. And I think overall, comparing this to like boat life, we're doing a lot more like tours and activities, and we're just doing a lot more. Whereas the boat was kind of like the doing activity, which I don't know. It's to each their own and whatever a personal preference is. I personally really enjoyed all the sites that we've been able to see.
We've seen some great ones.
Yeah.
And then groceries at $903. I'm personally very happy with that because it's under $1,000. And we honestly cook almost every meal. We love kind of getting good ingredients, organic ingredients. And now that we're in the van, we can sort of shop around to the lesser expensive grocery stores. When we were on the boat, it was kind of wherever the closest grocery store was to whatever dinghy dock you had. So you were very limited. And so it's been nice in the van. We've been a lot more flexible with.
Yeah, being able to go to Costco has changed the game for us. That never happened on the boat.
All right, now it's time for some s'mores.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And we're
doing.
doing.
This would be under the groceries expense.
This would be. And we're doing it so I don't have chocolate, but we do have skinny dipped peanut butter cups. So it's actually going to be like.
If you haven't had
our
these
hot
yet,
take
they're from
on
Costco.
s'mores.
So good.
They're so good. Yeah. So the next time that you eat s'mores, try it with a peanut butter cup and let us know. Did this just change? Did this just rock your world? Because they rocked ours when we first tried it. One got a little crispy with the mallows.
Sorry. I'm not very good at making s'mores. I'm really good at eating them though. All right, first bites. Mmm.
Thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
Are the graham crackers stale?
Mm-hmm.
That's not even a little. That is just burnt to a crisp.
Come on. The fire is so hot that it's hard to do the inside because the outside roasts so fast.
I think you were trying
You did 3.
4.
What's going on?
It's Mickey Mouse.
Doing Mickey Mouse all at once?
Yeah, it might end up like in the fire, which would be holy cow.
I told you it was fast.
I need to be like roast it, roast it, roast it. Let us know in the comments below if you're also team golden marshmallow or team burn it marshmallow, because clearly I think every relationship has one and the other. I'm clearly the golden one. You're Mr. Impatient. Impatient marshmallow. Do you want one of my marshmallows?
No, you can have all 4 of them that you cooked at once. With that, thank you so much for watching. We meant for this video to be a little bit of a helpful set of tips and demystifying the cost of van life. So make sure that you leave a comment below if you have any questions, you want us to deep dive or go further in any sort of direction.
And we have the full blog post on our website, so you can look at detailed expenses, like what actually we spent money on that added up to those individual categories. And they're broken down by month, so January throughout June. And we're kind of wanting to know, like, should we do this every 6 months? Should we do month-to-month reports, or a bigger year report? Let us know what's the most helpful, because although the finances are not the exact same from person to person, I think it is good to help from a big picture budgeting perspective.
Yeah, and we're gonna group like this whole Alaska adventure, the Alcan, kind of as different pieces, so you can see how much does it cost to drive to Alaska.
Yeah, like how much did we spend on gas?
Right, oh my God. We are incredibly excited to share with you our Alaska adventures so far. We've been to some amazing spots already, and they'll be our next few videos, so we hope you enjoy the ride.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.